This is DC, powered by people and ideas, where the community comes together, voices are heard, and decisions are shaped.
So I want to start by saying, welcome home.
Connecting you to what matters and to each other.
How you doing? You know, what's the tea?
I'm Lorenzo Hall, and this is the DC Beat.
Welcome to the DC Beat. It is good to see you. I'm Lorenzo Hall. So summer is almost over for students in DC. Hopefully they have lots of great summer stories to share when they're back in class in less than a week, because we know heading into the summer, tensions were high in DC between so-called teen takeovers and curfews. A lot of people were wondering how the city would fare this summer with children out of school. So let's do a beat check. The director of DC Parks and Rec, Thiene Freeman, is at the table tonight. DPR, we know, really stepped up this summer with so many options for children to keep them and our community safe. Thiene, it is good to have you at the table finally. You've had a summer.
We've had a summer. We've had a summer.
Oh,
is it
my
over?
goodness. I know, I'm like, even when I look at DPR's social media feeds and all the events that you all have for pretty much everybody in the city, knowing the planning that goes into this, take me behind the scenes, specifically for teenagers.
Okay.
Because I know going into the summer, we were talking a lot about these so-called teen takeovers. And you often heard everyone saying, oh, teens need a place to be, something to do. And you look at the list of what DPR has, and I'm like, how do the two correlate? Like, there's a laundry list of things to do.
So, you know, first of all, thank you for having us. And this really means a lot. I'll just say people don't know that you really are a full part of the DPR family. Like,
Oh,
you
you're
go
sweet.
to our Dean Word radio broadcasting and work with our teams, right? So I'll start there. The thing about it, we're hearing all the things, we're seeing the things that were happening amongst in the city. So the mayor said, what can we do and what can we do differently? Yes, we're doing these activations. We've been doing things for teens, but if they're not coming, let's go to them. So the first thing we started was location. We started looking at geographically. So I think during the spring jam, well, let me back you up. We met with them. Prior to spring break, we hosted a teen summit, like back in the day.
I was about to say, you're taking it.
Yeah, so we hosted a teen summit, and we asked them, what is it that you want to see? We brought them from all schools, and even the things that we were doing, we had to ask ourselves, why aren't they showing up? Right? Is it how we market? Is it how we brand it? And what we learned is the things that we were doing for teens, we still allow family and adults to come. And what the teens said is, we want our own events. We don't want the adults there. We don't want the siblings there.
Yeah.
Because if you say everybody can come, then my mom's gonna make me come and bring my 6-year-old.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Or my mom's gonna wanna come. We want our own. So we turned it into straight teens only, 13 to 18. And they showed up. I think we did a spring jam, and we went to Randall because initially they were in the Navy Yard. And so we went to Randall, and we had 3,500 in a weekend.
Wow.
3,500.
What does that tell
teens.
you, that kind of response, and having so many teens who want to be involved and children who want to be involved? What does that tell you?
It told us that this is their city, and we haven't done. And when I say we, I'm talking about the city as a whole. I'm talking about businesses. I'm talking about places. We haven't really done our due diligence to make them feel welcome. What do I mean by that? And I get it, right? Because I'm a youth development expert. So 7-Eleven or the stores, no more than 2 in the store at a time. No book bags allowed, right? Gallery place, no more than this, that, and the third in our business establishment. We understand the whys, but to the youth brain that's not fully developed, it looks like you're excluding me from places in my city.
Yeah.
And so by hosting teen-only events, they started creating their own flyers for our events.
No way. No.
Like, yeah.
They're like, we got this, okay?
We got this.
You give us the space, we're going to make it happen.
They started creating their own flyers. So I'm looking at like 5 and 6 different flyers because what would happen, Lorenzo's having a birthday party. So pull up at Late Night Hype with me. This is my birthday. I'm like, okay. It works.
Yeah.
So young people strive in structure and discipline. And so we just needed to make them feel like they owned the space.
Yeah, summer's over, or just about over. They go back to school next week. This is it. You get a little break, yeah. But then you got to pick it back up again with work in the fall, after school programs.
After school programs, and again, right, we had them. I just have to say, Lorenzo, we saw over 20,000 young people every Friday. Like in totality, we saw about 25,000 young people over the course of the summer, and with no major incidences. And we are proud. We've seen a reduction in the takeovers and youth being in spaces and terrorizing businesses, for the lack of better terms. And so now we have them. They seemingly are doing the right thing. We want to continue it. So now we're doing like, okay, this is the after school program. We have the Supreme Team program. We're partnering with our other agencies. You can work here at this agency. You can do this. You know, we want our young people to be active and doing something.
Yeah, I'm mad. What was it, the late night drip that I would always say?
That's the pool party. It's the late night drip.
I mean, it looked fun. Everything you posted looked so fun.
And it was. I mean, I'm telling you, you know what? It's exhilarating.
Yeah.
To see children enjoy being children. It really, really is.
Yeah.
The number of adults who showed they tail because they couldn't get in. I'm like, if you don't go home.
But that's another good point. We talked about this all the time. We have these conversations, these tough conversations, but more importantly, like letting kids be kids. That is so crucial to their development. And finally, for you, what do you enjoy most about this? What do you get out of it? This has been your work for as long as I can remember.
Yes. You know what? I've resolved it as I'm spiritual, and we all have varying gifts. I think we all would say LeBron is gifted in basketball. We would say Deion Sanders is gifted in football. I think the Creator gifted me with the gift of young people and the ability to connect with them and speak their language. The stories are untold. I mean, when I say untold, you wouldn't believe the stories that we encounter. But young people, I mean, they respond. They've responded to me in a way that I think is only divine. And so, I don't know. I mean, that's a loaded question, but I also know that sometimes when you operate in your gift, you don't really think about it. And it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah, that's
right?
important, yeah.
It doesn't feel like work. It feels like this is what we are supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I'm just grateful that Mayor Bowser appointed me and I'm able to have a seat at the table to be the decision maker for such a time as this that impacts our young people.
Yeah. Well, you certainly saved so many lives this summer, so many families. Thanks
you.
for the work we do.
Thank you.
You know I appreciate you.
I appreciate you more.
We got to have you back on.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we know a lot of people are sounding off about School Without Walls. It was ranked number 5 on U.S. News' latest rankings of the best high schools in the nation. Way to go, right? School Without Walls partners with George Washington University as well, so students can graduate with a high school diploma and earn an associate's degree. Now, a report done by the D.C. Policy Center last school year on the state of D.C. schools showed promising signs for the entire district, from teacher retention, increased enrollment, and graduation rates. However, the district is still struggling to keep students in school and preparing them for college and future careers, according to that report. So let's talk about the year ahead with Ward 8 School Board member Dr. LaJoy Johnson-Law. Dr. LaJoy, good to have you at the table.
Lorenzo, what's up?
Okay.
DC Beat.
DC Beat, welcome.
Do you know, y'all, I've been dying to come on the show. I've been begging Lorenzo, like, when can I come on? So I'm happy I'm here.
I'm so glad we have you because, I mean, there's a lot to talk about. And we talk about this all the time offline. Just
we do.
The different issues the city's facing, especially when it comes to education.
Oh my gosh, all the issues.
A new school year is starting. We just talked about, you know,
Whoop,
some of the challenges, some of the successes.
Yeah.
And one thing that keeps coming up over and over again, especially on the campaign trail over the summer for the primaries, is chronic absenteeism.
Oh my Lord,
and
chronic absenteeism.
Kids in the classroom and keeping them there. I mean, how do you do that?
Okay, so kind of like everything in DC, not all things, but chronic absenteeism is also a nuanced issue. Yeah. So people have to realize that chronic absenteeism includes both excused absences and unexcused absences. And I don't know if we've actually like really broken down the data, like really like staggered it and really looked to say, okay, how many of these kids are excused? How many of them are unexcused? Because a lot of these kids are also traveling, which I call traveling across God's good green countryside. to be able to get to school because you know,
It's a trip. It is a trip.
And again, you know, I represent Ward 8 on the school board, so shout out to the great Ward 8. But a lot of our babies, especially when they're going to like middle school, not so much as elementary, but that middle and high school, a lot of them are traveling across the city to get to school.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are also taking their younger siblings to be able to get to school. And so I think transportation is one issue. I think kids that have disabilities who have like health concerns or who are in therapy or have a lot of medical appointments, that's another, again, excused absence. So again, that's like one bucket, I think, of chronic absenteeism that I don't think we talk about enough. And then we have our kids who honestly are nervous to go to school. They're having anxiety about going to school because they could be dealing with bullying. They could be dealing with social anxiety. They could be dealing with, again, neighborhood beefs, depending on what's going on, or even sometimes even school beefs. You know, it just depends. And so I think there are so many different root causes that we haven't really solved for yet. I think we're working on them as a city, and we need to continue to work on them. But unfortunately, it's just like it's the perfect storm of what's going on. And so we have to, as my grandmother would say, she would say, walk and chew gum, baby, at the same time.
Same time.
But I have a new phrase to that.
What is that?
The district is going to have to walk, chew gum, hold the umbrella, push the baby stroller, and then hold the child's hand next to you.
That is a lot.
But I know it can be done. You know why?
Why?
Because mothers in Ward 8 do it every day.
That's a reality check for a lot of folks who don't understand that reality for folks. What do you, I mean, what's the biggest issue facing the district right now? We talk about some of the problems, but
that I feel, or that just
you
in general?
feel, but this is also coming at a time when you have an interim superintendent. There's going to be a new superintendent soon. You're going to have a new mayor soon.
It's a lot of transition this school year.
A lot happening, exactly.
It's going to be a lot of transition this school year.
Yeah.
So for me, and again, I'll take one of the top two concerns. Again, it's always safety is one of the biggest ones. And then for me personally, because we don't talk about this enough, special education.
Yeah.
And our kids with disabilities, and our kids also who have yet to be identified who need services.
Yeah.
There are a lot of gaps in regards to like related service providers. Sometimes there are also a lot of gaps in regards to like staff, so like psychologists to be able to do the evaluation. Sometimes there's also a gap in even teachers, especially when we get to the middle of the school year, and that's when a lot of the transition will be happening. And so I think we have to figure out how to really like not just support our families and our students, but also support our teachers. And how do we figure out really doing that, especially when there's going to be a lot of changes coming up for this particular school year. But we got to stick to, okay, what are your values? Why are you here? Why are you in education? Why are we serving children? My why is probably different from a lot of people's why, but I think our children and our families really should be the center of all that. And so I think we should really keep that focus. But again, just for me, I know safety is a big issue, but also just really want to shout out special education because it is a big challenge. You know, it was in the news this past year and all the things that were going on, and it doesn't get enough attention, but it's still, especially in our office, the State Board of Education's office, that's like one of like the top two issues that we receive all year round.
Time,
and all the time. And it just doesn't get enough attention. So gotta shout it out.
No, I appreciate you for that. And another issue that I think that, you know, we talk about it enough, but or we don't talk about it enough, and I don't think people understand how big of a problem it is, but roughly half of the students in DC public schools and charter schools are considered at risk. That's a huge chunk. Half of the student population.
A lot of, and it's frustrating because a lot of our students, and again, when people hear at risk, you think, oh, just like a kid who's who's on TANF or who's just on SNAP.
Yeah.
There's a spectrum of what at risk actually looks like. So you have homeless students, you have students with disabilities, you have students who are also on SNAP, but also students who are on Medicaid. Medicaid is also a spectrum. It's not just a specific type of child or type of family that's on DC Medicaid. There are a lot of families that are on DC Medicaid, and if you're on Medicaid, you know that could be considered again at risk. And so I think the other thing too is like the mental health. And all of the things that are going on with that, and how that kind of like goes in with all the at risk.
They're navigating a lot outside of the classroom.
It's a lot. You're navigating safety. You're navigating home life. again, you're navigating your brain developing, you're navigating school, social aspect, you're navigating, I have a 15-year-old navigating friends, like that's a big thing. And so you're navigating all of this in a system that sometimes isn't working for everybody. And so I think we have to really dig into not only how are we helping all of our students, but how are we helping our students further from opportunity? And how are we helping our most vulnerable? Our Black and brown students, students with disabilities, our ELL students. Like, we really need to dig into that just, I think, a little more intentionally, and not so much look at quantity, but really look at the quality of what we're doing. But that's just me, though.
All right. just you.
It's just a joke.
But you talk about helping students, and you got a big event this weekend with the little time we have left, school days.
Yes.
Back to school event. Tell me about it.
Back to school event. Super, super excited. I was going to say, I can't, if I forget all the partners, I'm so sorry. But myself, Trayon White, Cedar Hill, shout out to Sycamore and Oak, Children's, DC Health, Big Ellis. I think I'm forgetting some folks, but it's August 22nd, this Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. Please come get your school supplies, come get your book bags. We are hoping and praying to serve at least 1,000 children.
1,000.
1,000 children.
You have everything you need, but if folks want to help, you need supplies.
We still need supplies, and we are also taking, like donations, so that way we can do vouchers for uniforms. A lot of our kiddos go to school that, they have to buy uniforms, like a Kid for Less or something of that nature. So we're still accepting. We will not turn you away. I promise we won't.
Okay, so on that same note, really quickly, you saw us setting up back there, right?
Yes,
that's for you guys.
It looks so good, guys.
That's for you.
It looks so good. I plan to take my back to school photo. I'm like.
That is for you guys. You want to,
Wait, it's like for real?
That's for you. Yeah.
No, for real. Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh my God. I haven't just like taken a photo. I was like.
No,
oh my God.
We know that you guys are doing a lot of work to get our little kiddos ready for the school year, so we want to do our part to help out as well.
This is the serious genuine action. I didn't realize.
No, we are so grateful for you and the work that you're doing.
Wait till I tell the group. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
They'll see it.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm not gonna cry. No, I'm not gonna cry. My mom is gonna see this.
We're so grateful for you and the work that you're doing.
You guys,
I can't say it enough.
Oh my God. To Angela, Lorenzo, WUSA 9, thank you all so much. This is gonna mean everything to our kids in Ward 8. Like, seriously.
We gotta get them started right,
We gotta get them started right. So this is definitely, y'all, this is gonna go in the food hall. We're distributing the supplies. So if you guys have time, I don't know, but please come out if you want to.
Sycamore and Oak, 1 to 4 this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Dr. LaJoy.
Rain or shine. Rain or shine.
Okay.
Rain or shine.
Okay.
All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you. All right, let's keep the fun going with We, the People of DC. This week, we meet a neighbor who is helping boost the spirit of kids throughout the district. So Giovanna Mayo serves up sweet treats and smiles with her ice cream truck. And look who we have with us right now, Giovanna. It's good to see you.
Oh, thank you for having me.
We got the whole ride with us right now. It's like, what flavor do you choose at this point? So many varieties. So tell me, you've been doing this for roughly 5 years now? Almost 5 years?
Going on 5 years,
so
yes.
Tell us why this.
Why the ice cream truck? That's a pretty good question. I would say just because I just wanted to bring some sense of community back to our city, in a sense, right? I wanted to bring positivity back to our kids and our adults, in a sense, and I just feel like when they see the ice cream truck, it just brings back their childhood memories. It's very nostalgic, so I just wanted to spread some sense of positivity, in a sense. Yeah.
What drives you? I mean, we know that you want to bring community to the community, but why this mission for you?
This mission, excuse me, why the mission for me?
Yeah.
I would say just being able to see that the kids get a certain feedback and that they're excited and that they're always eager to see me or ask me how my day was. We had to build our way up to that, but I feel like that gives me the drive just to see the change in our youth, honestly. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're doing great. So we see the Obama Variety Truck.
Yes.
You got to explain the name to us.
Okay, so Obama Variety means, it's named after my oldest brother. His name was Obama. He had lost his life to gun violence a couple of years ago. So that's basically where the name came from. And honestly, our Black president, but yeah.
So when the kids see the truck coming by, I mean, What is the reaction every single day? You're driving every single day.
Every day, rain, sleet, and snow, every day. Literally, they're running outside with no socks, no shoes, no matter what the weather is, honestly. No, they love to hear the bell. They love when they see this white truck come up the street and my big smile through the window, honestly. They know it's me, and they're always eager for Free Friday, so they're trying to, can we get free snacks today, or can we, I'm like, no, not today, you know, but they're always so eager to see me. They want to spend whatever, even if it's a penny. They just want to come to the truck and talk to me and just, you know, be here.
What message are you spreading as you're obviously, they see the ice cream, they want the sweet treats, the snacks, but what are you telling them? What do those interactions mean for you and for them?
Interaction is just take it day at a time, one day at a time. Everything comes to a struggle sometimes, and I know that our mental health is at a struggle right now. So the message that I'm trying to put out there is just be the best person you can be, stay positive, and just love one another. And you can do that with something so simple as ice cream, or a snack, or candy, literally.
We know kids always love food. You got to start with the food, and that's when you can have those conversations, right?
Yeah. No, exactly. You know, you just open them up with so much stuff. Even so, they come to the truck a little bit guarded at times. But like I said, just working on it over the years, giving back to them, and just letting them know that I'm here for you. And that comes to the kids or the adults. Just knowing that you have someone in your corner, that I'm not going to just be here for one day and not here the next. I'm going to try to be here every day and build that relationship with you. That's kind of what everybody looks forward to, not only the kids, but even the adults. So
I imagine, especially now, just having that consistency and seeing that familiar face, rain, sleet, or snow, as you say.
They love it. Sometimes we have a little back and forth, and you know, like it just comes down to just being a business owner. But at the end of the day, they challenge me and I challenge them, and that's just honestly the beauty of it. And I think with the question earlier, why or what drives me, the challenges drive me, just to make me better, or what can I do to make it different, or how can I do this. It's just every day is something positive or something that you can outreach on. So I just feel like that's what drives me, my customers.
How do you choose the neighborhoods? How do you choose the routes? Like, there has to be some method behind this, right?
No, yeah, it's definitely a method. Well, when I first started 4 years ago, I kind of went off of the bus routes because I lived in Philly for some time.
Yeah.
So I went off the old bus routes that I used to take, the U5, U6, A2, whatever, right? But all the buses are changed now.
Yeah.
So, like, that's kind of where I started out and basically built with my customers from there, built a relationship with them. And then it came from cousins calling me, hey, I heard you serve my cousin, can you come over here? Or I seen you on Instagram, can you come here? Yeah. It just built from there.
Awesome. Is there a favorite ice cream, like the go-to for any and everybody? What is the favorite in this area?
Oh, wow. Okay, so the favorites, it depends what generation we're talking about. But older generation, they like the Bomb Pop Junior. I didn't know it was called
Bomb Pop
Junior, which is the original.
Junior.
It's the original Bomb Pop. And then the kids love the Big Dipper cookies and cream.
Okay.
For sure.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Any final words? I mean, the kids are heading back to school. Obviously, I mean, after a long day of school, maybe some football practice, baseball, whatever they're playing. They're going to be looking forward to seeing you even more so at the end of that day.
Of course. I think the best thing that I can say to them is just stay positive, stay cool, and take it one day at a time.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. You're awesome.
Thank you
so much. We appreciate you and what you do.
Thank you.
All right, let's end this show on a higher note as DC students get ready to head back to school. One 13-year-old is already making moves in the workforce. Look at him right there. Miles is making a name for himself as a celebrity photographer. He shot events like the BET Awards and New York Fashion Week multiple times, by the way. And tonight, look at this. He is here at the table with me. Miles, it is good to see you.
Yes. Very great.
So did you have a summer at all? Have you been working all summer, or did you take a break?
So no breaks.
No breaks
from my work. I just have to keep going. I was working in June. I think I had a little break in July.
Okay.
But I was working in August. And it's just have something in September. So
You working up to the first day of school.
Yep, of course.
We have to get you a vacation. We got to tell mom to get you an appropriate vacation, okay, for this working young man. All right, so we know that we see your yellow camera right there as well. You started, or your love for photography began at just 2?
Yes, it actually sparked at 2 and it formed at 3, but I honestly don't know how. I'm still looking at myself, like, I don't know how this little 2-year-old decided, I like cameras, so like I'm just gonna decide to do photography. I just don't know how that formed.
I think that's what we all want to know. Like, what was it about the camera, the picture, anything? You love being in front of and behind the camera, right?
I'm gonna tell you, but I like being behind the camera, but in front of the camera, sometimes I get a little camera shy, but
I can't tell.
I get a little camera shy, but I had to get used to it.
Yeah.
As for behind the camera, it sparked with my mom, of course. She used to do photography, and I practically stole it from her, but I used to be a model, so I was like around cameras a lot, so I kind of just took it from her, and that's how it started. That's how it started.
So I use my little cell phone right here to take pictures. You have this big, Canon?
Yeah.
How did you learn to shoot? Was it all mom? Did you take classes? Self-taught?
I was self-taught. So like from YouTube and going out. So I actually did, I had a little thing. I think it was like, I don't know how much it was, but like I had a whole thing where people would book me for their service, and I would just raise money there. That's actually how I got my first camera, but from that and then taking nature as well, like this
This
right
is
here.
beautiful. This is all you.
Yeah, that was at the Arboretum, so like, just going out and shooting consistently with the help of, YouTube and whatever I could find. I just learned from there.
All right, so you had some pretty high-profile clients too.
Yeah.
Tell me about the very first celebrity you met. Were you nervous at all? Who was it?
Let's see, the very first celebrity.
That's when you know it's a lot, when you got to sit there and think about which one was the first.
I think the very first. Well, I may have met other celebrities, but I think the very first one I met was definitely at BET Hip Hop Awards 2019.
That's when you had them all going through, right?
Yeah,
And
I think one of them I do remember is Yara Shahidi. I definitely do remember that.
How old were you then?
Let's see, I was about. I think I was around 6.
Yeah. And how did you feel? Were you nervous? Were you ready for it?
I was nervous. I was nervous. I was just like, my nerves were just going all over the place.
And clearly you did a good job because everybody's coming to you for work now, for your pictures.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite type? Is it photography? Is it the runway? Red carpets? What do you love?
So I actually ended up developing it over time. I really, really love concert photography. I definitely get to manipulate that. I also love sports photography. Sports photography is one of my favorites. And then if I had to pick a third, I'd say I love nature and studio photography too.
Nice. And so not only are you, we have Wale on our screens right now. We know that you took his picture.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Let's say that one was, it was actually a pretty long time ago. At least the first concert I did, but it's just been an insane journey.
Yeah, and
like
insane is right.
Even taking Wale's concert this year, so.
Yeah, and you got a book too.
Yes.
So we got a photographer, you're an author, you told me before, you wrote everything in there.
Yeah, so this was in recent production, but, well, technically it was a year ago, but it actually released on my 13th birthday. Like, it was officially released on my 13th birthday, but I had to get it all copyrighted, and it took I'd say maybe 3, 4 months for the copyright, but I had the idea, chicken scratched it, and then I sent it to the author. They did their thing, and I had already had the words planned out, and they just handled the rest, and with the help of my mom, of course. So,
nice. So with this book, with the work that you're doing, you're heading back to school next week. A lot of kids are. What is your final message? What do you want people to know? Some words of encouragement.
Words of encouragement.
Yeah.
I just gotta say, I really don't like school, but stay in school. I feel like I wouldn't have got where I was if I wasn't in school. Even though I technically was homeschooled for a period, but I'm back in school now. Just stay learning. Stay creative. That's all I gotta say. Even if you don't like it, just do
Just
what you
keep at
gotta
it.
do.
Keep
Yeah.
going, right? I love it.
I mean, even with photography, I had to keep going.
You're awesome, Miles. We appreciate you. You keep it up, all right? We'll be looking for more of your photos. You're so awesome. Good luck as well heading back to school next week. Get the vacation, okay? You got to rest too.
I will make sure.
All right. Thank you, Miles. And thank you so much for being here with us for this edition of the DC Beat. Thank you for giving me some of your time. Truly the greatest gift. I will see you back here next Wednesday. So awesome.
Thank you.